Welcome geometry students to class today on Monday the 22nd. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're ready to learn some math today. I'm going to go through these announcements very quickly, so please take some quick notes. And here we go. There'll be a quiz on Wednesday. I will give you more details about that on Thursday. Here's the schedule for the week. You do not need to write this down. Today we'll have notes and homework. We're going to study properties of parallel and perpendicular lines. On Tuesday we're going to look at notes only. We're going to look at something called laws of logic and contrapositive statements, okay? On Wednesday, we'll have quiz and homework only, okay? Getting you off to a good 4-day weekend, all right? So hopefully you'll have a good, enjoyable 4 days off. Incompletes. Now, students, I'm going to nail this for the next 3 days. Listen to me. This is not a class that when you miss it, you should feel stress or burdened down or like, oh my, I missed 3 days, I'm so behind. Look, there's no need for that, guys. Some of you aren't getting this. All you have to do is go to teach'em.com / or / either one works, geometry track 1, no spaces. That's it. And when you go to that website, up pops a truckload of videos. Let's say someone's absent tomorrow. All you have to do tomorrow if you're homesick, and you know when you're homesick, you watch TV, you watch videos, you can watch a math video. I mean, if you don't, it doesn't bother me. You're hurting yourself. And some of you are missing days of school. You're checking out early or you're missing for whatever reasons, and you're not watching the video. And then you get a bunch of incompletes and you feel stressed out. Look, if you're absent tomorrow, you go to this. I'm going to go over this for the next 3 days, today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, in case someone's missing. They'll hear this. You go to this website. If you're absent tomorrow, you would simply type in September 23rd. That's tomorrow's date. Now, I know you're supposed to put track 1. You don't even have to put that. If you just put September 23rd, the video will pop up. And then you have all the information, all the announcements, all the videos that you're supposed to watch, the homework video, the homework assignments. You guys need to start doing this. Now, if you don't, that's fine, but it really hurts you and not me, okay? All right, here's your incompletes. Let me take a look here real quick. Kaylee and Cody, I really think it'd be wise for you to get your test taken by Wednesday. Now, Kaylee, I'm not going to make you because you missed a whole week, okay? But Cody, yours needs to be taken by Wednesday, okay? And don't forget, I have half your review sheet. So if you want the 5 bonus points, I need the entire review sheet turned in. If you want me to return that to you so you can see how much you have done, just let me know, okay? Now, I gave this assignment on Thursday or Wednesday, I forget which day it was. And Matthew, you were there. Kaylee, you were, Kaylee was not, I'm not sure why I have her name there, but Matthew and Brian and Cody, you guys were there that day, but you weren't there the next day, Friday, to turn it in. So if you have this assignment, please turn it in now. If you don't, it's an incomplete. Now, Alicia and Aaron, I believe you were absent on Friday, I believe. Or maybe no, you were absent the day it was given, maybe on Thursday. I'm not sure exactly what day, but you have an incomplete for this assignment. So please get this turned in as soon as possible, okay? If you have any questions on that, just contact me, okay? All right, moving on. We'll be looking today in class at 4 definitions and 2 theorems. The information is about parallel and perpendicular lines. The video is about 22 minutes long, so it's not too long, okay? Your homework for tonight is, please copy this down, page 108, numbers 11 through 16, 23 through 28, okay? The help video is called Geometry Track 1, September 22nd, homework, okay? So please copy all this down. I'll pause just a couple seconds while you copy this down. Okay, moving on. The video you are to watch today is called Properties of Parallel and Perpendicular Lines, okay? So make note of that, and you should also write that down. Even though Miss Frampton's going to type it in and show you guys the video, in case you get home at night and you have any questions, you need to watch it again, you got to watch this down. The video is called Properties of Parallel and Perpendicular Lines. And remember, there is a video for you to watch if you want to find your mistakes on your test. The name of the video is Geometry Track 1, Chapter 2 Test Corrections. And those that have not taken the test, you are more than welcome to watch this video. I give you a different test. That's totally fine. Okay? All right, let's continue on. Also, by the way, at the end of the video, I explain how I graded your test. So if you have questions on how I graded your test, then fast forward to the end and I explain how I graded your test, okay? So keep that in mind. Okay, once in a while I throw in a little algebra review, and so quickly take some notes on the following problems. We're going to do that today for just about 5 or 10 minutes. Weeks ago we reviewed solving linear equations. Today I want to quickly review solving absolute value equations. This review, students, is very, very good for you. It's very helpful. Okay, be thankful that I'm doing this. Even though you are not responsible for this material, please take notes, okay? Thank you. Here we go. Let's take a look at this problem here. I would not work ahead, okay? And if you try this one, that's fine, but I would wait till we do this one on our own. These are called absolute value equations, okay? Now, when you're solving an absolute value equation, the first thing you do is you get the absolute value part all by itself. Please, students, always do that first. So the first thing you want to do is take the -5 and move it over. And when you do, it becomes a +5. So now we're left with 3, 2x minus 7 equals 9. Now some students think they should take this 3 and multiply it through. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Do you really want to solve a math problem using a method that sometimes doesn't work? No, of course not. So what you want to do next to get rid of this 3 is divide this side by 3 and divide this side by 3. These will cancel, and you're left with the absolute value of 2x minus 7 equals 3. Now, what you do next is you write two different equations. You write 2x minus 7 equals 3. Now, all of this should look familiar from last year, students, okay? All right, so this should look familiar. And then you write the equation again, and notice everything's the same except you take this number here and you change the sign. And then you solve each equation, and there's your two answers. You see, absolute value equations do not always have two answers, but they usually do have two answers, okay? So let's go ahead and solve this equation here. Let's add 7 to both sides. So if we add 7 to both sides, we're left with 2x equals 10. And then we're going to divide both sides by 2. And so real small here, x equals 5, okay? Now, over here, I'm going to add 7 to both sides. A +7 minus 3 is a +4. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 2. Now, I'm not going to take time and check those two answers, but trust me, those two answers do work, okay? It's good for you guys to get refreshers on this information, especially if you take the ACT test this year. Okay, this is stuff that you're going to forget if we don't go over it occasionally throughout the year. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago we looked at solving linear equations, and now today we're looking at solving absolute value equations. Now this one over here is a little trickier, okay, so be careful. Now on your own, I would like you to go ahead and isolate the absolute value, okay? So you want to get rid of the -6, and then you want to get rid of the 2. I'm going to wait about 20 seconds while you do that, okay? Go ahead and isolate the absolute value. You want to get this all by itself. Okay, you should have brought the 6 over and make it a +6. So you're left with 2 absolute value of -3x plus 5 equals -12. Then divide both sides by 2. These cancel, and you're left with this. Now, a lot of you, if you worked ahead, you made a mistake. By the way, -12 divided by 2 is -6. That's where the -6 came from. Now, if you worked ahead and wrote your two equations out, you're wrong, okay? There is no solution to this absolute value equation, and let me show you why. Anytime you isolate an absolute value, and after you've isolated it, there's a negative number over here. Now, in this case, over here there wasn't. When we isolated the absolute value, we had a positive 3. However, in this problem over here, after we isolated the absolute value, we had a negative number over here. The answer is no solution, and here's why. Think about it, students. Any number you put in for x, you're going to multiply it by 3, and then you're a negative 3, then you're going to add 5 to it. And whatever number you're left with on the inside of the absolute values, when you take it out, it's going to be a positive number. There's no way an absolute value can ever give you out a negative number. So I'm done with the review. That's it. But listen to me, students. Every couple weeks, I'm going to throw some stuff at you to make you think and to hopefully remind you of what you learned in Algebra 2. And you sophomores, if you didn't get this in Algebra 1, then you're getting a little early head start, and it won't look so new next year, okay? Now, here's what you need to take from today's quick review. Anytime you're solving an absolute value equation, you first isolate the absolute value, okay? Then, after you do that, you write two equations. One, just like it is without the absolute values, and then another equation just like it is without the absolute values, except you change the sign of this constant term over here. The second, and then solve the two equations. Now, the second thing you need to learn is anytime you're solving an absolute value equation and you get down to the end here and you've isolated the absolute value and there's a negative number over here, stop. Your answer is no solution. Okay? All right. That's it, students. Have a good day today. Please get started on the video right away. When you're done, start your homework right away. Your homework is due tomorrow. If you have it incomplete, I really would like that turned in by Wednesday of this week. Cody, test by Wednesday. Kaylee, hopefully test by Wednesday, but you don't have to. And don't forget also, students, you have a quiz on Wednesday. Have a good day.